Hungary's decision to join the BRICS alliance in 2025 sent shockwaves through Europe, catching many policymakers and analysts off guard. For years, Hungary had been seen as a reliable, if sometimes controversial, member of the European Union. But this bold step signaled that Budapest was ready to chart a new course, one that would have profound implications not just for Hungary, but for the entire continent. By aligning itself with BRICS, Hungary is signaling a dramatic shift in the continent's balance of power. The move challenges the long-standing assumption that EU membership means unwavering loyalty to Western alliances and values. Instead, Hungary is now openly embracing a multipolar world, where influence is shared among rising powers. For decades, Hungary followed the EU's path, benefiting from economic integration, open borders, and shared prosperity. The country's transformation since joining the EU in 2004 was remarkable, with Budapest often hailed as a symbol of post-communist success. Yet, beneath the surface, tensions simmered over issues of sovereignty, migration, and national identity. This move marks a bold break from Brussels' orbit, as Hungary asserts its independence from the EU's political mainstream. The decision is not just about economics or diplomacy, it's about reclaiming a sense of national agency in a rapidly changing world. Under Viktor Orbán, Budapest has increasingly defied EU consensus, challenging Brussels on issues ranging from media freedom to migration policy. Orbán's government has positioned itself as a champion of national sovereignty, often clashing with EU institutions and other member states. Now this defiance has culminated in a formal alignment with a bloc that includes China, Russia, India, Brazil, and South Africa. By joining BRICS, Hungary is not only seeking new economic opportunities, but also sending a message that it will not be bound by the EU's rules alone. Hungary now bets its future on the rising economies of the East and global South, hoping to attract investment, technology, and trade from dynamic markets beyond Europe. The government envisions Budapest as a bridge between East and West, leveraging its unique position to benefit from both worlds. Seeking new trade routes and investment beyond the EU, Hungary is rapidly expanding its infrastructure, forging partnerships with Asian companies, and positioning itself as a logistics hub for goods flowing between Europe and Asia. This pivot is as much about economic survival as it is about political strategy. This is more than a diplomatic gesture, it's a calculated gamble to redefine Hungary's place in a multipolar world. The country is betting that the future belongs to those who can navigate between competing power centers rather than relying on a single alliance. The EU now faces a stark reality. For the first time, a member state has joined a rival bloc, challenging the very foundations of European unity. This unprecedented move has sparked debate across the continent about the limits of EU influence and the risks of fragmentation. The question now is whether Hungary's decision will inspire others to follow, or whether it will serve as a cautionary tale. Either way, it raises urgent questions about the future of the European project and the ability of the EU to adapt to a changing world. Hungary's pivot is not just a national story, it's a sign of shifting global power in the 21st century, as old alliances are tested and new ones are forged in an increasingly complex international landscape. Hungary's pivot to BRICS is rooted in years of conflict with the EU over democracy, media freedom, and national sovereignty. Budapest's refusal to fully support EU sanctions on Russia and its controversial sovereignty protection law deepened the rift. The Hungarian government frames these moves as defending national interests against Brussels' interference. Exhausted by constant disputes, Hungary saw BRICS, championing non-interference, as a logical alternative. The EU, once seen as a family, became an adversary, making Hungary's eastward turn both inevitable and strategic. BRICS began as an economic concept, coined in the early 2000s by economists who saw the potential of Brazil, Russia, India, and China to reshape the global economy. At first it was just an acronym, a way to describe emerging markets that were growing faster than the established Western powers. But over the years, this loose grouping evolved into something much more significant, a formal alliance with regular summits, shared goals, and a vision for a multipolar world. Today, BRICS has grown into a powerful geopolitical force, especially after its recent expansion. The group now acts as a counterweight to Western-dominated institutions, offering an alternative platform for international cooperation and dialogue. With new members like Iran, Egypt, and now Hungary, BRICS Plus represents nearly half the world's GDP, and its influence is only set to grow. The addition of these countries signals a shift in the global balance of power, as more nations seek to join a bloc that promises economic opportunity and political autonomy. Together, BRICS Plus countries are home to over half the world's population. This immense demographic weight gives the group not just economic clout, but also cultural and social influence on a global scale. The bloc's appeal lies in its respect for national sovereignty, allowing each member to pursue its own path to development without external interference. This principle has attracted countries frustrated by the conditions often attached to Western aid and partnerships. BRICS openly rejects Western political conditions, offering a model of cooperation based on equality and mutual benefit. For many, this is a refreshing alternative to the dominance of the US and EU in global affairs. For Hungary, joining BRICS is about forging partnerships rooted in mutual economic interest, rather than being subject to lectures on governance or political alignment. It's a chance to diversify alliances and tap into new markets. This move is also a bet that the future belongs to the global South and East, where economic dynamism and population growth are shifting the world's center of gravity away from the old G7 powers. By joining, Hungary secures a seat at the table where new global rules are being written, ensuring its voice is heard as the international order evolves. This is more than just symbolism. It's a strategic move to shape the future. BRICS is no longer just an alternative to the West. It's rapidly becoming a new center of gravity in world affairs, influencing everything from trade to technology and global governance. Hungary's move is a leap toward that future, embracing a world where power is shared and new voices help shape the global agenda. Hungary's surge in gold reserves signals a clear break from Western financial orthodoxy and aligns it with BRICS core members. By amassing gold, Hungary hedges against Western sanctions and asserts monetary sovereignty. Simultaneously, Budapest has deepened ties with China, welcoming investment and infrastructure projects like the Budapest-Belgrade Railway. While the EU urges caution, Hungary embraces China as a vital partner for growth. These moves, gold accumulation and Chinese partnership, are two sides of a deliberate strategy to pivot eastward. Hungary is not just talking about a multipolar world, it's restructuring its economy to thrive in one. The groundwork for BRICS membership was laid long before the formal announcement. Hungary's Eastern alignment is both practical and symbolic, a new chapter in its national story. At the heart of BRICS lies a transformative mission to reduce the world's overwhelming dependence on the US dollar, a currency that has long dominated global trade and finance. For decades, the dollar has been the backbone of international transactions, giving the United States significant leverage over the global economy. But recent events such as the freezing of Russian reserves after the Ukraine conflict have accelerated the BRICS push to challenge American financial dominance. This move sent shockwaves through the international community, highlighting how the dollar can be weaponized as a tool of geopolitical pressure. For many countries, this was a wake-up call, revealing the risks of relying on a single currency controlled by one nation. In response, BRICS is actively building alternatives. One major initiative is the development of a cross-border payment system that bypasses the dollar entirely, and there is ongoing discussion about creating a new reserve currency, one that could be more stable and less subject to political influence. This new currency might even be backed by gold, adding a layer of trust and security. With Hungary joining BRICS, it now gains access to these emerging financial systems, which could help insulate the country from potential Western financial pressure and future sanctions. For Budapest, this is more than just a strategic move. It's a hedge against economic uncertainty and a way to diversify its trade and financial relationships beyond the European Union. By aligning with BRICS, Hungary opens new doors for trade, investment, and diplomatic partnerships, reducing its vulnerability to external shocks. The BRICS vision offers Hungary a financial lifeline and a unique opportunity to help shape a new, more balanced global economic order, one where power is shared, not concentrated. For any nation seeking true sovereignty and economic resilience, this is a powerful incentive. Hungary's endorsement of the BRICS vision marks a bold step into uncharted territory, signaling its intent to play a significant role in the future of global finance. Hungary's BRICS pivot is part of a wider Eurasian realignment as US influence wanes and China's grows. Across the continent, countries are diversifying alliances and seeking new partners. China's Belt and Road Initiative is transforming Eurasia, and Hungary is positioning itself as a key European node. The return of Donald Trump and his America First policies have further unsettled old alliances, giving countries like Hungary more room to maneuver. By joining BRICS, Hungary aims to become a bridge between East and West, attracting investment from all directions. Rather than a peripheral EU member, Hungary wants to be central in a new Eurasian economic space. It's a calculated gamble on the world's center of gravity, shifting eastward. Hungary's BRICS move is a high-stakes gamble, risking deeper isolation from the EU and potential loss of vital funding. The EU remains Hungary's largest trading partner, and over-reliance on opaque Eastern economies carries real dangers. Critics warn that aligning with autocratic states could damage Hungary's reputation and credibility. There's a risk Hungary is trading one dependency for another, swapping Brussels for Beijing or Moscow. The Orbán government is betting that BRICS benefits will outweigh the costs of alienating the West. But many fear this pivot could lead to economic vulnerability and geopolitical isolation. Hungary's BRICS accession is a turning point for Europe, shattering the illusion of inevitable integration. The EU must now decide how to handle a member aligned with a rival bloc, accommodate, confront, or part ways. Hungary's example could inspire other dissenters, risking a fragmented, multi-tiered Europe. This crisis could either weaken the EU or force it to renew and deepen its core unity. The continent faces profound uncertainty. Will Hungary thrive as a Eurasian hub or become isolated? Will the EU fracture or emerge stronger? Hungary's move has redrawn Europe's political map, with aftershocks that will shape the continent's future. The old certainties are gone. Europe's next chapter is unwritten.